From the very beginning of The Bachelor, season 29, Lisha moved differently. She didn't scream for the spotlight. She didn't throw drinks or throw shade. She simply stood, present, poised, like the eye of a hurricane spinning with chaos. While other contestants played the game loudly, Lisha became unforgettable by playing it quietly, and that, ironically, became her power. The entrance that said everything. When Lisha stepped out of the limo on night one, she didn't deliver a gimmick or a pun. No costumes. No props. No TikTok dance challenges. Just a confident walk, a warm smile, and a single sentence. That sentence disarmed Grant Ellis instantly. In a season packed with producers clearly nudging the women toward drama and chaos, Lisha was the anomaly. Her calm demeanor forced the show to shift its tone every time she walked into frame. She didn't dominate airtime. She didn't need to. Her presence lingered. And it wasn't long before Grant began seeking her out, not for the adrenaline rush, but for the peace she brought him. A background etched in grace and resilience. Viewers quickly learned that Lisha grew up in a tightly knit Samoan-American family in Carson, California. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, the first in her family to graduate college, and had spent the past 4 years as a youth counselor for at-risk teens. Her backstory wasn't tragic, it was real. And it shaped her emotional intelligence and patience in ways that set her apart from the more impulsive contestants. Week after week, while others complained about not getting enough time with Grant, Lisha quietly said even when other connections blazed fast and hot, Juliana, Chelsea, Vanessa. Lisha's bond with Grant was something else. Justice for Lisha trending after week 4. Fans were furious she hadn't had more screen time. The producers couldn't ignore it. By week 6, she finally got her moment. And it was worth the wait. Grant and Lisha's one-on-one was a private sail around Catalina Island. Nothing extravagant. No skydiving or fireworks. Just 2 people alone on a boat, learning to breathe in sync. They didn't kiss for almost half the date. Instead, they asked hard questions. Talked about childhood. About fear. About faith. Grant admitted that his parents' divorce had made him afraid of commitment. As the season deepened, the show descended into classic Bachelor madness. Group date jealousy, behind-the-scenes betrayals, secret alliances, hot mic scandals. But not Lisha. She remained composed through it all. Even when Chelsea, one of the more outspoken women in the house, accused her of emotionally manipulating Grant by staying quiet, Lisha didn't retaliate. She simply said, if Grant had any doubts left, they began to dissolve during Lisha's hometown date. From the moment he walked through the doors of her family home, he was immersed in something he'd never experienced: deep-rooted culture, fierce love, and a spiritual calm that grounded everything. He met Lisha's grandmother, who blessed him with a traditional Samoan prayer. He played rugby with her brothers in the park. He helped cook dinner with her aunties and uncles. The warmth was overwhelming. The week of fantasy suites is when many bachelor relationships start to fray. But not this one. Their date was spent in the mountains of Utah. A cabin. A fireplace. Snow softly falling outside. They talked for hours before even touching. About boundaries. About futures. About what love looks like at 40, not just 30. Lisha admitted she had never said "I love you" to someone who didn't earn it over time. Grant didn't flinch. He just nodded. Of course, this wouldn't be The Bachelor without a wrench. And that wrench was named Juliana. Beautiful. Passionate. Fiery. Juliana had chemistry with Grant that lit up every room they walked into. While Lisha offered calm, Juliana offered chaos, and it wasn't bad chaos. It was crackling. The show's final weeks framed the choice: comfort or passion, peace or excitement, Lisha or Juliana. Fans split into warring camps. Hashtag Team Lisha and Team Juliana trended for weeks. And Grant? He unraveled. In the penultimate episode, Grant had a breakdown on the beach. The finale opened with heart-pounding music. Thunderclouds hung over the ocean cliffs. Both women waited in separate limos, unaware of what the other had said, or what Grant would say. Juliana was sent months later, After the final rose taping, Lisha and Grant walked on stage hand in hand. No drama. No scandal. Just smiles. Grant told the audience. Lisha nodded. We want forever. But we want to build it brick by brick. They weren't the flashiest couple in Bachelor history, but they might be the most real. Bachelor Nation, still recovering from several seasons of drama, clung to them as a symbol of something the show often promises, but rarely delivers. Would you like a follow-up chapter for Juliana's side, or the finale drama from a different perspective? Before the world knew her name, before her presence stirred rooms into silence or drew eyes with its calm intensity, Lala existed quietly in the folds of history. She was not born famous, nor did she grow up in abundance. She was born on a Tuesday morning in a rain-slicked village in northern Iran, in a house that leaked in the spring and froze in the winter, yet always smelled of jasmine and fresh bread. Her mother, Sharon, was a seamstress with the hands of a pianist and the spine of a soldier. Her father, Dawood, was a teacher exiled from the capital for writing poetry that made bureaucrats uncomfortable. Grace ran in Lala's blood not because it was taught to her, but because it was lived around her. Resilience wasn't a choice. It was the language her family spoke. They stitched their lives together with small joys, the sound of birds returning each spring, the rare but golden laughter of her father, the pride her mother took in perfect stitches even when her eyes strained in the candlelight. This was Lala's foundation, not riches, but rhythm. Not fame, but faith. When Lala was 11, the silence came. Her father was arrested in the night. No explanation, no trial. Just a knock at the door, and a shadow that took him. Sharon didn't cry. She wrapped her daughter in a quilt made of old clothes and whispered, "You will learn to carry things quietly, but you must never carry them alone." For years afterward, the silence became a member of the family. It sat at the dinner table. It slept at the foot of their beds. It walked beside them in the streets. Lala began to speak less, but feel more. She noticed things. The way neighbors averted their eyes. The way her mother's hands trembled before they touched fabric. The way grief can hum like a refrigerator, constant, background, almost unnoticeable until it disappears. She could have folded into that silence. Many did. But Lala chose to etch herself against it. When Lala was 17, her mother arranged a way out. With the help of distant cousins and a bribe made possible by the sale of her grandmother's wedding ring, Lala boarded a plane to Canada. Alone. 2 suitcases, 1 passport, and 1 notebook tucked beneath her shirt. She arrived in Toronto on a gray morning in February. Everything felt foreign, the air too dry, the buildings too tall, the people too hurried. But in that alienness, Lala discovered her kappa.